Joining us now is OjyOkpe with stories trending around the world. Hello, Junix.
Good morning, Dr. Abati. How was your weekend? I saw you jollificating. That's why you're doing that. Good morning. I know what is jollificating. Good morning, our favorite Niger wife. How are you this morning? How are you? Perfect. Good morning, Rufy on fire. Perfect. Good morning to you, viewers. Well, before we begin what's trending, let's highlight some rather disturbing news. The Bayelsa State High Court judge, Justice Umokoro, was kidnapped over the weekend by gunmen in front of a popular eatery in Yenagoa. The incident occurred around 7 p.m. on Saturday night. Justice Umokoro was with his two daughters and had stopped to buy bread when the kidnappers, who eyewitnesses described as masked armed men in black combat attire, resembling police or DSS operatives, attacked. Here is a video of the incident.
They should not see you.
My car is tinted.
Okay. You can't off it. Now why are you owning it? Why you off the car? Oh man, this thing is serious, man. Jesus Christ.
This is quite scary. Well, according to eyewitnesses, the gunmen reportedly trailed the judge and forcefully dragged him into their vehicle and drove off. Well, during the struggle, the judge's mobile phone and a pouch containing his identity cards, ATM cards, and national ID card fell along with two mobile phones belonging to the abductors. A passerby reportedly picked up the judge's phone and handed it to the police. The motive for the abduction remains unclear, and no contact has been made with the judge's family nor ransom demanded. Justice Umokoro is known for driving himself without security details while off duty and was a former state chairman of the Nigerian Bar Association. The Bayelsa State Police Command has confirmed the incident and initiated a discreet investigation. I mean, we had our correspondent, Theophilus Agidi, also cover the story. I believe that he even spoke with some lawyers in that area, and I think that they said they're down in tools and they're going to go out to protest. This is so scary. I believe you even said that you were in Bayelsa State over the weekend as well. But this is what we're seeing in Nigeria. Over the weekend, at least 71 people were killed in several states across the country. In Kebbi State, 30 lives were lost due to bandit attacks. In the Zuru communities, Borno State experienced a suicide bomb attack at a food joint in the Konduga local government area. Additionally, a bomb explosion occurred in Kano State, and mob action in Plateau State claimed the lives of 13 travelers in the Mangul district of Mangu local government area. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Vice President Kashim Shettima, and Governors Caleb Mutfwang of Plateau State and Uba Sani of Kaduna State have all condemned these attacks of violence. Vimbai, I mean, these stories that happened over the weekend, quite scary. We start with the judge, and 71 people across several states lost their lives over the weekend. The security situation is becoming alarming really quickly.
It's extremely alarming. It's distressing, and especially because we're not really seeing a sense of urgency. We saw what happened in Benue. Yes, the president visited Benue, but what has followed up since then? He made a number of proclamations. Yes, we've seen some of the stakeholders have come together. They've started meeting, but we need urgency. And you know, what we said about Benue, Plateau, Borno, Kano, now you're looking at Bayelsa, is that this is something that is beyond talk shop. This is something that needs, whether it be state police or whether it be empowering communities, whatever it is, something needs to be done urgently. Now, we also have an issue because when we're dealing with insecurity, there are now two narratives around it, because the government maintains the position that these are political issues that can be dealt with by political solutions spearheaded by the governors of each state. But the people in most of these communities are still crying foul and saying that there's something more sinister at play. So, God, it's frustrating, but in the meantime, we need security restored in every corner of Nigeria urgently.
My heart goes out to these families, and of course, the judge in Bayelsa State. I hope that the police, find him sooner than later. Well, let's continue on what's trending. The presidency has reacted to comments made by former Governor of Yenagoa State, Sule Lamido, who over the weekend accused President Bola Ahmed Tinubu of supporting the annulment of the June 12, 1993 presidential election. Lamido claimed in an interview right here on Arise News that Tinubu only gained prominence after the formation of NADECO, and that Tinubu's mother, Alhaji Abibatu Mogaji, mobilized market women in support of the annulment. Let's take a look.
I feel highly entertained by Tinubu's rhetorics, the way he's dramatizing his own role, in Nigerian democracy. Luckily, we're all alive, we're all there, we're all, participants in that particular, sphere of political activity. So I was in the midst of it. Tinubu became relevant and noticeable after Abacha took over government. Before then, he was in the Senate. Was the secretary of the party. And with all respect to him, you see, he was part of those people who were supporting Babangida's annulment of June 12. He was part of it. His own mother, Haja Mogaji from Lagos, was organizing Lagos market women to come to Abuja to pledge, support for Babangida. I'm saying this because it's simply history. I mean no harm. I mean don't mean to embarrass him. But then you see, he was actively handing gloves to Babangida. So when Tinubu today, after being a Nigerian president, decided to rewrite history, trying to maybe deconstruct history and then rewrite it, then it is very, very amusing because he was part of the Babangida's support of June 12. He was part of it. Now, it was only when Abacha took over government that Tinubu then became a so-called activist of June 12. There is a difference between the victory and the victor. The NADECO were more concerned with the victory than the victor. As far as they are concerned, in the bathwater they are trying to use, they are trying to hang on to their own kind of riding on top to reinvent, history in Nigeria. Otherwise, I feel embarrassed for the president for the way he's talking. Honestly, ask anybody. What is happening today in Nigeria is simply something very, very laughable.
Well, the presidency has refuted Sule Lamido's claims, describing them as a distortion of history and an attempt at revisionism. In a statement released on Sunday, the presidency claimed that Alhaji Mogaji never supported the June 12 annulment and that had she done so, she would have lost her position as market leader. The presidency further highlighted that Sule Lamido, as the secretary of the Social Democratic Party at the time, was among the party leadership, including Chairman Tony Anini, who surrendered the people's mandate without resistance and teamed up with the defeated National Republican Convention to deny Abiola his mandate. The presidency also emphasized Tinubu's consistent condemnation of the annulment and pointed to records showing that on August 19, 1993, while on the Senate floor, Tinubu unequivocally described the annulment as another coup d'etat and urged Nigerians to reject such injustice, further stating that Tinubu was active in defying the Abacha junta, was arrested for his pro-June 12 stance, and continued to fund protests. The statement concluded by advising Lamido to verify his facts before making public statements, suggesting that his comments are politically motivated. Dr. Abati, over to you.
Okay, very quickly, I commented on this earlier on. I said that it is most unfortunate that 32 years after, the controversy is about who played what role and who played, a better role than the other. To the best of my understanding of what Alhaji Sule Lamido said, he did not say that President Tinubu did not play a role in the struggle. He seems to be saying that, well, he didn't play as much role as some of them. My Mercedes is bigger than yours, kind of mentality. And, the spokespersons for President Tinubu, Mr. Bayo Ononuga and also Mr. Dele Alake, they both said, look, this is revisionism, this is not the truth. Because it is on record, indeed, that, President Tinubu at that time was one of those persons involved in the struggle. In fact, it was on the basis of that the Alliance for Democracy made him the gubernatorial candidate in Lagos. Before he returned from exile, it was a different person that they had chosen. I think at that time it was Funsho Williams that they had chosen. But in appreciation of his contribution to the struggle against military rule and also in defense of June 12, they then decided to make him, the candidate of the Alliance for Democracy. That was how he became governor.
Yes.
In fact, it was in recognition of his commitment to that struggle. So for somebody to now come in 2025, 32 years later, and say, oh, no, he was not part of the struggle, or we played a better role than he did, well, that has been debunked by spokespersons for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But my argument is this. Look, we should focus on the significance of June 12. June 12 was considered the freest and fairest election ever conducted in this country. And it was on the basis of that Professor Alfred Nwosu's name has been put on the honors list June 12, 2025, in recognition of what he did with option A4 at that time. Number two, it was also a Muslim ticket. MK Abiola and Baba Gana Kingibe. That election unified Nigerians so much that even Bashir Tofa, who was the NRC candidate, he lost in Kano, his home state. And the Abiola ticket won even in Kano. So people did not vote along ethnic lines. They didn't vote along, religious lines. This was an election that could have unified the country. But the military thought it in their own, folly to annul that election. And that led to Nigeria being isolated, a lot of issues. In fact, Abacha did not seize government until November 17, 1993. So all that struggle, isolation of Nigeria, ostracism of Nigeria, and all of that struggle, everybody was involved. And I cited the example of Joe Igboko's book, Heroes, Segun Adeneye, The Ghost of June 12, which is a recently released book, Wale Osun's account of the protest, and several other accounts on that particular struggle. What we should focus on is the theme of June 12, the significance I have described, the theme, Abiola's theme. It was called Hope 93, Farewell to Poverty. Abiola's message was that if elected president, he would ensure prosperity. He will make Nigeria a better place for all.
Right.
That ideal, that goal, that objective of Hope 93 is still alive today.
Right.
Anybody who is in government, their assignment should be how to make this place better for us all, and how to ensure farewell to poverty.
Absolutely.
We have not achieved that objective yet. That should be the discussion.
Right.
Not my Mercedes is bigger than yours. I was the one that was there. I contributed more than you. No. That's not what we want.
Well, several people have responded to Sule Lamido, including Dele Alake, who actually said that President Tinubu defended the June 12 election, and also the fact that Sule Lamido himself was part of the people who surrounded it by endorsing, a controversial interim government.
Where was Lamido? The Lamidos of this world were hands in gloves with the Abacha regime. So they did not face any harassment because they were not even for June 12 anyway. So they were safe. But the people fighting Abacha for the restoration of that mandate were the victims of harassment and oppression. And Tinubu was the forefront of it. I just told you his house in VI was firebombed. If he was working for Abacha, will he go through all of that? If I tell you how he even smuggled himself out of the country from Anthony in Lagos. He was holed in a clinic. If he's watching, I'm sure he will be smiling. He was holed up in a clinic to say that he was ill when the order came that he must be brought in dead or alive.
That's what SDP abandoned MKO.
Absolutely.
Including his own running mate. I don't want to embarrass anybody this morning.
All right. Well said.
But that is the truth.
We'll take another story now.
Empirical fact.
Empirical fact. We'll take another story. Highlighting the grand reception held in Uyo, the Akwa Ibom state capital, to officially welcome Governor Umokoro to the All Progressives Congress. The event, which took place at the Godswill Akpabio International Stadium, was attended by Vice President Kashim Shettima, Senate President Godswill Akpabio, APC National Chairman Alake Ganduje, and other prominent APC leaders. Godswill Akpabio expressed strong confidence that the entire South-South region of Nigeria will cast its votes for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the 2027 general election, and that suspended Governor of Rivers State, Sim Fubara, and the Governor of Bayelsa State, Doyo Diri, are next in line to join the All Progressives Congress. Let's take a look.
Your Excellency Governor Minor, today is for you. Today is for President Tinubu. Today is for the South-South. Today is for Akwa Ibom. But most especially, today is for Nigeria. Governor Minor, after you, who knows, Rivers State will jump tumble. After Rivers State, Bayelsa will join. And of course, we won election after Governor 2 in Edo State. And we produced an amiable senator, Senator Monde Okpewolo. He's here in our midst. So what are we saying now? We are saying henceforth, come 2027, the South-South will go one way. And the South-South will vote for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Race to 2027. Before I come to you, ahead of the reception of Governor Umokoro's defection to the APC, Vice President Kashim Shettima was seen in a video publicly or appearing to refuse to shake hands with APC National Chairman Alake Ganduje. The video has since gone viral, with many suggesting that the incident is not unrelated to the tumultuous APC Northeast stakeholders consultative meeting in Gombe, where the party endorsed President Tinubu for a second term, but omitted any mention of Shettima as his running mate. Recall, we did take this story when it happened, and I believe the chairman at the time said that, you know, they don't endorse running mates. Your thoughts on both stories? But that video really, you were saying something about it looking like it wasn't really, and what did you say?
So a few seconds later, he did come back.
Of course he did, but I know, but yes, eventually he did. But what they were saying,
he did come back and shake him, but that was a snub.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, if you do human relations, you know, body contact relations, body movement, that was a complete snub.
Yes.
And it shows that all is not well in the fold of the APC.
That's what it was looking like, obviously.
It was a complete snub.
Yeah.
So him coming back to shake it was an afterthought, because there were people that were bringing hands and you were shaking at the behest of the party chairman, and you didn't shake him there and then. So whatever I did was an afterthought. Things are not well in the APC, and it shows. No matter the attempt to spin
the narrative.
The narrative, I think the man involved even came on our show, Was Trending. I think I was in Abuja then, and he was saying that normally they would not talk about their death. It's not true.
That's what he said.
It's not true. Why was there ruckus there that day? Is Shettima not a prominent person enough to be mentioned? And to now add insult to the injury was when Mr. Bayo Nanuga did come out to say that it's going to be at the convention and they are going to announce the running mate. So obviously, true to type, and it's not a new thing President Tinubu is doing. When he was governor, he did it. He didn't finish with his running mates. God knows how many running mates he has, you know, from Kofola, Brooklyn, and all of that. And there's been a push by the Northwest, because when you look at it on the calculation pecking order, the Northeast does not bring as much vote as the Northwest. So when you look at it, what is in it? Okay, Vice President for the Northeast. What's the vote count in the Northeast? You want to compare it to the Northwest, where you have the KKK states, the Kano, Katsina, Kaduna votes, which we call the Kardashian states. You can't compare it to them. So probably, I don't know whatever their machinations might be, but all is not settled. There are some factions that are saying within their fold that it should be somebody from the Northwest. But the question is, who will it be? We don't know. Some are saying still stay with Shettima. It's going to bring about a very high-stakes politicking amongst their folds.
That's what it looks like.
And when it happens, we'll see it. But the question is, every political party has problem, but how they settle it matter already. But from what I saw, that was a snub. As regards everybody now that is trying to hog June 12 limelight, the truth is, we forget in a hurry that MK Abiola died. Somebody actually died for this. He didn't only die, his wife died. his family will never remain the same again. Do you know at what age that his family, his children lost their parents? Do you think it was an easy experience for them? And then we have turned June 12th now into politicking, bring back. Where are we even empathetic towards individuals? Must everything be politics? Everything, we have just quickly turned it apart. People actually died. Innocent Nigerians that came out. And these politicians, they will never argue for the ideals of farewell to poverty. Nigeria today has become welcome to poverty. Welcome to poverty. Right. They will never argue on how to make lives better for people. The slippery slope of economy that heralded MQ Abiola's campaign, Nigeria is on the march again. Bad water not there, food not there. It's even worse of today. In the 93s of this world, at least you had pipe-borne running water. Today, how many pipe-borne running water do you have in major cities in Nigeria? Till today, many people, I know a man that calls me on my radio show, Ambassador Busba, he lost his sight because of this June 12th. So you have a lot of those. People don't talk about that. They don't even understand the ideals they return to democracy.
All right.
A lot of them that are in bed with the military and the ones now talking today. The ideals of democracy, having the military officers even now morphed into civilians, the same people that perpetrated this heinous crime against Nigerians.
All right.
So it just shows that the elite class is one.
All right.
And they should stop deceiving us.
Very well said. Very well said. Well, in another development, opposition leaders under the coalition movement, led by former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and former Kaduna State Governor Nasiru El-Rufai on Friday, June 19th, applied to the Independent National Electoral Commission to register a new political party called the All Democratic Alliance ahead of the 2027 general election. The application letter requested the registration of ADA with the slogan, Justice for All. The letter, however, erroneously addressed INEC as the Independent National Commission, omitting the word electoral. This clerical error has raised concerns about the validity of the application, as Nigerian electoral law requires strict procedural compliance for party registration. The letter was received by INEC on June 20th, but it remains uncertain if INEC will accept the application as is or request a corrected resubmission. Meanwhile, the coalition has released a campaign advertorial for the party. Let's take a look.
Zainab, have you heard? A new political party just applied to INEC, All Democratic Alliance, ADA.
Wait, ADA.
Trendy.
The one backed by that anti-Tinubu coalition. I thought they were joining ADC or SDP.
Yeah, but they changed plans. Too much drama in existing parties. Now they're starting fresh, same level for everyone.
Smart move.
They submitted their constitution, logo, and even a slogan, Justice for All.
New party, new possibilities, justice for all.
Party. I mean, this video was trending all over social media over the weekend, Dr. Abati. But let me take Festus Keyamo's response to this registration. And, you know, his tweet reads in part, he wrote, if they are thinking of recreating what the APC did in 2013, then this is nothing but a pedestrian joke, a complete mockery of the seismic political coalition that birthed APC in 2013. A few individuals exercising their constitutional right to form a new political party cannot be described as a coalition or even a merger. This is not different from several political associations springing up every day for the same purpose. After all the razzmatazz has been by, it boils down to the fact that a new political party is just attempting registration by a few Nigerians. It is a disappointing anticlimax to all the preceding pomp and pageantry. That's Festus Keyamo right there. I mean, we did see that secular go around social media with that mistake. I mean, like I read, you know, we don't know if they're going to ask for a resubmission. But I mean, also this party, what do you make of it really quickly? What do you call it? Wielding cutlass. Is that what you call it?
Wielding cutlass. I mean, first of all, people were
Ada is cutlass. Ada is the first
daughter in Igbo. Go ahead.
And I wonder if Flavor never, allowed them to use the music. But people unpacking the logo and, the colors and the use of corn as well, because, corn has developed a bit of a derogatory meaning under this administration. But to serious issues, I think that I do agree with the view that it seems that the media has gotten ahead of itself with regards to ADA, because Atiku and his people have disclaimed it. They said they're not part of any ADA. The African Democratic Congress is saying that, no, this is not the real coalition. This is a group of people who are coming together to throw a spanner in the works. But for me, why I think this is significant and important, whether or not it turns out to be the vehicle, the official coalition vehicle, is the fact that there were some accusations that had been flying around that INEC is not registering new parties. And this will be the true test of whether INEC is allowing new parties into the space in preparation for 2027 based off of those allegations that have been dismissed severally. And it will give us a guide of what the playing field is like, how free, fair, and equal the playing field is as we count down to 2027. But until then, Ada, yes, we know some of the people involved, but largely we're still waiting for the real, shall we say, the real leaders to step forward and say that, this is us behind Ada, because we know the coalition, but is it Ada that's the actual coalition vehicle?
All right. Well, let's take this cherry story. Last week, during the commissioning of a newly completed collector road in Abuja, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, publicly promised a pay raise for his official music band. The road project was executed by a Chinese construction firm. Midway through the event, the band's lead singer performed a song in what appeared to be Chinese, a humorous tribute to the contractor's nationality. Well, Wike, visibly amused and impressed by the performance, announced the pay raise to the amusement of the crowd. Let's take a look.
Now that the musician can sing in Chinese language, his fee will be increased. His fee will be increased now that he can sing in Chinese language.
Agreement is agreement, yo. Agreement is agreement, yo. Yes, so we get don't talk. Chinese people go see him. Agreement is agreement.
I can hear Dr. Martin's cracking up. What did that guy say? Chingucha.
Well, I mean, when we see something that is really interesting,
we have to.
We say it.
Yes.
Our job is not to embarrass people.
No.
But I think that this is very good.
I think so too.
Minister Nyesom Wike has added style and glamour to even the commissioning of projects. This same man gave us as he dey sweet us, he go dey pain them, as he dey pain them. He go dey sweet us. And now they've come with but it's okay. Wike has created jobs for them. He has taken them from Rivers to Abuja, and they seem to be adding color, which is the nature of politics. I find it refreshing.
I do too. That's why I thought I should highlight it for our viewers. Well, let's head over to Anambra State now, where the Anambra North Stakeholders Forum, comprising various political affiliations, endorsed Governor Soludo for a second term during an event over the weekend, where traditional rulers from the Anambra North Senatorial Zone also conferred upon him the chieftaincy title of Alute in recognition of his leadership and developmental strides across all sectors of the economy. In a video now making rounds on social media, the governor was seen dancing to Flavor's Game Changer in celebration of the honor. Let's take a look. Congratulations, Governor Soludo. Well, let's take our...
Charles Chukwuma.
Charles Chukwuma Soludo. Congratulations. Let's take our story now under a milestone. The Nigerian government is set to become a dominant player in the global rare earth and critical minerals market with the construction of Africa's largest rare earth processing plant in Nasarawa State. The announcement was made over the weekend, with the Nigerian government, through the Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dele Alake, pledging full institutional support for the initiative. The project, backed by $400 million in foreign direct investment from Hastings Commodities Limited, is projected to create over 10,000 jobs across the country and significantly expand Nigeria's processing capacity for key strategic minerals. Dele Alake described the project as a significant milestone in the government's efforts to boost investor confidence and stimulate economic diversification through the mining sector, adding that it will promote skills transfer, local capacity building, and increase contributions of solid minerals to the national GDP. How amazing is this? This is huge for Nigeria and the mineral sector. We'll take our good news report now, celebrating Nigeria's first female fighter pilot, Lieutenant Kafiyat Omolara Sani, who was awarded the Best Allied Student and Best Assistant Commandant Paper Awards at the Armed Forces Command and Staff College in Accra, Ghana. Flight Lieutenant Kafiyat Omolara Sani was presented with the award during the college graduation ceremony on June 20, 2025. Flight Lieutenant Sani first gained prominence in 2019 as the Nigerian Air Force's first female fighter pilot after completing her training in the United States. She has since flown the Alpha Jet and conducted training sorties and Super Mushak as an instructor pilot, mentoring new pilots for the Nigerian Air Force. Her recent accolades at the Ghana Armed Forces Command and Staff College highlight her personal dedication, Nigerians' growing influence in regional defense, and the nation's commitment to gender inclusion within the armed forces.
It's a privilege for me to be winged as the first female fighter pilot in the Nigerian Air Force. So I'm also just going to join our male counterparts in the insurgencies and every other thing that's been going on in the country. I'm just going to go there and then play my part. Everyone is not supposed to fold their hands and watch what's happening in the country. Everyone could always play their part. So I didn't think there was any reason for me to say that it's not possible for me to actually fly the jets because there is no female in Nigeria that's ever flown the jets.
This is such good news. We'd all just love to say
Congratulations.
This is such good news. Really.
Very good.
Well, I'd like to thank you all for your great analysis, as always, on What's Trending Today. Well, that's all I have for you guys on What's Trending Today. I'll see you all tomorrow.